How long has it been since you bouldered?
I bouldered, I want to say like 5 months ago on a rainy day with my girlfriend. But before that, let's say 10 years.
Okay, I like it. So, literally, as I was coming up to this conversation, I was thinking, the last time we chatted at the lighthouse, if somebody had a camera, that would have been a banger.
Probably.
Right? And so now that we
You're
have
going to actually have to jog my memory because I don't remember exactly what we covered
That's fair.
at Lighthouse that day.
That's totally fair. But I want to get your hottest take on this. And I think like a lot of this is going to go down just today because of our synergies. But tech media right now in 2026, the way sponsorship works versus in Jake's mind, what does sponsorships look like in the future if everything comes to fruition?
Is that where you want to start right now? Okay. I think the word sponsorships goes away.
Interesting.
The word, everyone ever will hear the word sponsorship, and the way you define it, or anybody would define it, is like, especially for a podcast, a brand pays the person on camera to talk about their brand in an ad.
Yeah.
It's like a 30 to 60 second segment at the beginning, middle, or end. This episode is brought to you by so-and-so. Or maybe it's very organic and it's like, I've been taking this supplement myself for 3 years and like, it's incredible and it's blah, blah, blah. And you should check it out and you should go to supplement.com/Jake for 10% off.
Yeah.
That's a sponsored ad read.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to be either fully immersed or very, very much more immersed in a world that looks today a lot like what we think of as creators and influencers. And creators and influencers, their canvas, their place is Instagram. Short form video, their stories, their link in bios. Those are more like people doing unboxing videos, or people doing get ready with me videos, or people doing day in the life videos, or vlog. It's vlog style shit. And I come at this like, I run a podcast network, right? We've done now over 70 shows.
Yeah.
And the short story with this is I go to brands or big networks of brands all the time and have been all the time. And I'm like, hey, we've got a great show that's very niche and like totally in your space. Do you want to sponsor it?
Yeah.
They're like, well, how many monthly downloads do you have?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we have about 400 monthly downloads, meaning 400 people maybe listen to this thing a month.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Yeah.
So the sponsor's like, no thanks. Deal closed, goodbye.
Yeah.
Weird conversation though, because on that same show, we get 1.2 million views a month on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go to that same brand and I'm like, but hold on. Like, maybe you don't want to sponsor the full episode because no one listens to it, but like this real estate we have on Instagram is huge. How about the short form content? And their brain short circuits.
Yeah.
Because they don't look at it that way. So instead, I go to the head of creator partnerships.
Yeah.
They don't ask me how many monthly downloads your podcast has. Their first question is, how many views are you getting a month on Instagram?
Yeah.
1.2 million. They're like, that's amazing. You've only been around for 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes. They're like, holy shit. I'll wire you 10 grand a month tomorrow for the next 3 months. What they're looking at is, this is a creator. Their medium just happens to be podcasting. Whereas the next creator's medium is unboxing videos, and the next creator's medium is running videos, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I think the future of tech media, at least because a lot of tech media is podcasts, like that's the main source. There's some like documentary style stuff. There's some other shit, but like long form, deep technical conversations.
Yeah.
Podcasting format, I think, is the most common. The way I see the money flowing in the future is no longer through the head of marketing doing sponsored ad reads in the middle of the long form episode, but completely in the realm of a full ecosystem play in partnership with that creator. So what does that look like in a podcast episode? It looks like the ad read plus every short form clip they put out, they're wearing your brand's hat.
Yeah.
They're drinking out of a mug with your logo on it. They interviewed your CEO once a month and did a deep dive on like the thing that you guys are building and the world that you're creating.
Yeah.
They put your logo as an overlay on every clip.
Yeah.
They put your link in their bio. They put up 2 Instagram stories a week using your product or talking about your brand, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many other full ecosystem things on top of that 30-second ad read that looks like a creator play. Their medium is just podcasting. Now, to back this up a little bit, I've closed one deal ever
Yeah.
in the 70 shows we've done. And that was actually like 3 years ago when I started the company with a brand, it was a big law firm who wanted to sponsor the long form episodes. I kind of got lucky with it because it was like right fit between brand, show, and audience.
Yeah.
I've never been able to close one since.
Yeah.
We just brought our first show to market with sponsors 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
With this approach of like, we'll give you the ad read, but all these other things, we've already closed 15K a month for the next 3 months. We haven't even launched an episode yet.
Yeah.
15K a month. This show, by the way, has done like 12 episodes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy. And they're doing about 1 million views a month on Instagram alone, about 2.5, 3 mil in total between LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts on all the short form. 15K a month, that's almost 150K a year right out of the gates. That's a full-time salary. First of all, their show is paid for. Our fees are covered. And now the host is making money on top of this. 12 episodes in, like, that's crazy. That is the creator economy, not the podcast sponsorship economy.
I love that. I love how like I could tell you produce so many podcasts because you have that very natural cadence of like you hooked, you had the middle, you had the little.
You've only done a few thousand episodes. That we
number 8
now.
will shock you.
Number 8 will shock you.
Man, I love it. Let's climb a little bit. All right, let's get some shoes on. Let's
I think the age-old question in climbing is like, do you wear socks?
Dude, I
Or
love
not.
wearing socks. I don't know.
I'm not putting my bare foot in this shoe, I'll tell you that.
You got a rental today, so I'm like.
When I used to own shoes,
You go barefoot?
totally barefoot. You got to feel the rock with your feet, man.
Always go socks. I think I think a lot of Asian climbers like socks, but they also have like very specific socks that they use. I don't know if that's common here. All right, well, let's find some easy stuff.
Yeah, what V do you like to start on?
The lowest one possible.
V0?
We'll get our stuff cooking, yeah? Well, let's look around.
Oh, let's get this tracked on the Garmin.
Oh, that's so sick.
I did it once, and I think I set, bouldering, here we go. Set difficulty.
Say hard, what's the hardest one?
V17. I'll start with V0.
So do you have to log it every single time you, do you climb and then you log it? Or does it just like
each route you do? You could like hit the lap button, kind of like if you're running a track, like every mile. I guess that's what I do. I'm just gonna let it rip though.
Let's rep this red one. I'll refresh the bouldering memory a little bit.
I may need some chalk at some point.
I got you. We'll rip out the chalk bag. Dude, this has been so nice because I've like all week has just been a lot of meetings. And this is like the first thing I'm shooting that's like we are moving and actually we're moving and conversing.
You know how like when you're trying to parallel park and someone's watching you, it's harder, or like when you're typing and someone's watching your screen, it's harder. I never climbed on camera, so I wonder if I'm gonna be worse knowing that I'm being watched.
It's hard to tell with founders. One thing I've noticed is whenever I take a founder climbing, they're always just like, they're super competitive. And so they will literally be like, I'll get on calls with everybody. And their same question every single time before we start is like, look you go, man. What did the last person climb and what's everybody else's experience climbing? And then I can see their brain going, okay,
I could do better.
I bet I could do better.
What is it about so many founders and climbing? Like why do so many founders like to climb?
I don't know, man. It's been so interesting. I think a lot of it is like thinking. It's like, there's a lot of thinking involved in this. You got to know what you're doing. You got to have a plan.
Yeah.
I think a lot of founders that I know are like have a really good build for climbing. It's like they don't lift that much. They're just naturally very lean and like they like to work, just being in the office all day. And then they get on this like, oh, the body type works really well. It fits really well. It's similar. And I think the vibes fit well, which is like you can bring a laptop here and you can just start working.
Yeah, you could talk.
Yeah, you can talk about what you want. And I mean, like, it is. But yeah, let's look around. Anything look exciting to you?
I'm curious when I share that hot take.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's a hot take, but that is the like core underlying thesis that has not been articulated outside of conversation. Like I've talked about it on a couple of little interviews and like videos we've made.
Yeah.
I haven't written it out. I haven't written a manifesto yet.
Yeah.
I haven't written a nice like LinkedIn post yet.
Yeah.
What comes up for you? What do you see and like, where am I wrong?
No, I think you're 100% right. The word that I'm always describing it is like a holistic partnership, which is like, this is my guy, right? Where it's like, creator deals have always come from radio, right? Which is like, you see the ad reads, you see the things, and it's like very simple there. what creator economy moves to is feel like they're moving towards like an athlete sponsorship, which is like Nike sponsors Michael Jordan. This is my guy. There is no like long form, short form with Michael Jordan. It's like, he is Nike's guy. And I think everybody in the creator economy wants that deal, but tech to me runs a little bit slow. And it's like, tech's always a little behind. I think tech just got on UGC. And so it's like, we get short form now, we got it. And there's some excellent players in UGC. I have great friends who kill it there. And I'm always very curious to say, I'm like, hey, like, I wonder if you played in like more of this holistic sponsorship sense with like worse skill set, how much better could you do right now, right? And so I'm always talking about it like, I completely agree. I think it's coming. How fast it's coming, I don't know. I think there's a lot of interesting things where it's like TBPN buy. I think put a lot of energy in this space. Clearly doing like a lot of clipping stuff, put a lot of energy in the space. Every once in a while, I'm like, I feel like I put a timing on it because I've already seen the waves go through with creator economy. And I see these big moves happen. And I'm like, I feel like it's going there. I don't know how much. But I would agree. A lot of the conversations I have are very similar. I think a lot of brand deals for the most part are still very, very, very radio-like.
Yeah, I mean, podcasting, like, the whole space is so outdated. The fact that it's 2026 and we're using RSS feeds, it's like using fucking broadband cable.
Yeah.
And that's still the thing. Like, you look at the top, like, 10 podcast infra websites. They all still are built on WordPress. And have, like, you just, in 2 seconds, you could just look at the design of a homepage and tell, like, this is bullshit or this is new and modern and, like, real. And that's still the whole space. And people who, like, get all up in arms and comment adverse things on my LinkedIn posts about my take on the future, and then I go look at their accounts and it's like, fucking Pod Lab this, and, like, some dude who clearly, it looks like he's still speaking from the 90s. And by the way, you go back, came from radio. It is still radio. And I just don't get it.
It's a really weird feeling.
And I see it, it's like, it's a great opportunity. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go fucking disrupt that. Like, that's the play.
And I'm really curious for yourself, which is like, I looked at your career, like, every single one of the moves, I feel like I would have put you away from Thursday Labs. I feel like I'm not entirely sure I would have pictured your next business was here. Why did you decide to jump into here?
I didn't. Let me climb this and I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
We're going blue, another V0.
There you go. You move like a climber still. Just don't hurt yourself, you gotta race. Shoot down climbing, I like that. A little bit.
Thanks. It's the chalk helps.
Yeah, you still move like a climber. I would say I don't move like a climber. So like when people watch me, they're like, ooh, this is just not.
I would push back on that. You've got this like light flow to you, this lightness.
I appreciate that.
Which is climber shit.
You know, I've never really learned climbing by like anything technique oriented, and my friends all roast me for it. They're like, man, you got the worst feet I've ever seen. Like, but they're like, pretty much the only way I learn things is just like,
just try it.
Go, and that was all I did.
I'm down to try this V2 purple.
I was gonna say, this is a good one.
While we're here. So, I think that Thursday Labs, I feel very confidently like it is my dream business. I don't know, maybe play this back to me in 10 years, but I'm 31 right now, and I really, really think I will do this for the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
It will evolve. Like, I don't know if it'll always be podcast, but I really do think for the rest of my life, the thing I have to do is tech media. Look, I'd love to make like surf documentaries and snowboard documentaries at some point, but like, as long as we're talking about like, there's a business of this and you can like make money in it, it'll be tech media. I think I have 3 things that I'm like actually pretty great at. Everything else I suck at, or I'm okay. I can yap. Like, I just talk to fucking anybody. I've always been that way. That's just talent. Like, I've had that. I can network. Like, I'm really good at just networking, connecting people, making friends, like remembering all that. I at times have been referred to as a super connector. I don't know if that word gets used much anymore. And then like making little videos and like, I mean, I was 8, 9 years old making like skate and snowboard videos all day. I was early on YouTube. I had 10,000 subscribers on YouTube in 6th grade.
Oh, wow. Which year was that?
2006.
Jeez, that's early. That is early. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was before Google bought YouTube. I ended up deleting that account because I got bullied for it in high school.
Oh, jeez.
So there's talking on camera with a network.
Yeah.
That's a podcast network.
Yeah.
Talking on camera with a network. Like there's no better fit. But yeah, I mean, I started an agency, like marketing, design, media, when I was 18 in Boulder.
Yeah.
The Techstars had just started. Fitbit had just exited.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of money that flooded Boulder and Denver, and I went to CU Boulder, and right place, right time, 2012, 2013, all the startups were there. And they were like, they all looked like shit though. Yeah. No website design, they had no videos, like all their logos were crap. And I realized, oh, it's because they just raised $1 million from Techstars. Actually, at the time, I think it was like 500K.
Yeah.
But that was a lot then.
Uh-huh.
And yet all the agencies in town were the biggest agencies in the world. Yeah. So they couldn't afford them. It was like $100,000 to make your website.
Yeah.
So they didn't have it. And I was like, well, I'm 18.
Yeah.
Like $2,000 to me to build a website that's a semester's worth of food. Like that's a lot of money. So it's like, what if we built a like student-led agency and found all the best creatives who were basically under the age of 23.
Yeah.
And brought them under one roof, taught them how to like talk to adults. I could talk to adults because I grew up in New York around like an entrepreneurial family. And then we work with all the startups in town and undercut by like 95% all of their agencies' prices. We ended up getting like 85 clients in like a year and a half.
That's nuts.
Worked on everything you can imagine. Like any project I said yes to. Like some of the weirdest shit. And learned how to then run like a service business for creating things. Yeah. I'll fast forward the next few chapters, but it does come full circle because then I built some startups. Always like each one moved a little bit further and further away from like marketing agency. Yeah. Because I felt like I was so above building a marketing agency. I felt like that was the easy, obvious solution. And I was in that era of like, I'm 1 degree away from Spiegel and Zuckerberg, and these guys are like just a few years older than me. Yeah. Some of them actually new. Becoming billionaires at like 20. Yeah. And I'm like making logos. Yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna get rich, I'm not gonna change the world. That was the whole thing, like change the world. Yeah. Making fucking logos and videos for people. Yeah. So I refused. Yeah. So I built startups. I was like, I have to build tech, I have to like build a thing. And every time I tried that, these were like total moonshot ideas. Like everything was a moonshot, but it made me feel good. I was like, we're gonna change the world. They all failed. Yeah. Raised some money here and there, sold one thing when I was 23, and then had that like 23-year-old exited founder, fake ego. Looking back was just silly, but I was 23 and moved back to New York, got into VC and was in venture for about 7 years. Went to raise a fund of funds, always focused on the startup studio, like lane of venture, which that was a whole weird chapter. And people always ask, like, how did you go from like startup studios to like podcast network? Yeah. A lot of actually important overlaps there. Yeah. And I woke up one day in New York, tail end of COVID, literally in a Patagonia-vest, looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm not a finance guy. I'm trying to be this like VC because I want all the founders to like want me and need me. Yeah. I suck at money. I'm good at making it. I'm terrible at like saving it or like doing things with it. I'm only good at like getting a lot, but then like. Yeah, really? I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm very curious. I thought for sure that, you tell me this, I'm curious, would you consider yourself like a purebred entrepreneur? Yes. I was gonna say, you feel like a very prototypical purebred, right? You've been. Since I was 10 years old. Yeah, like you started by what? Selling skateboards, right? Or selling. Skateboard repair. Skateboard repairs, right. Yeah, and I was 8. I remember that, yeah. And so, for context, I don't think I'm a purebred entrepreneur. It's like very cool to see different founders. And I'm very obsessed with this like idea of like kind of being a founder is just so tough. That it almost feels like if you're not playing in your genius zone, you're always gonna lose, right?
And that genius zone is like, you always have this moment of you're like, where is my genius zone? Did I get closer to it? Yes, maybe no. Okay, cool. Like, let's move a little this way, right? And it's like, it's interesting to me to hear so much about founders' childhoods, because it's like, that's the time like nothing really mattered that much. There wasn't any society interfering with it. It's like, you could see naturally what was it for you and then go from there. And so
there was something I realized actually in VC. I'm glad I spent more than almost a decade in venture. I learned a lot of things there that I realized I don't want to do, but I also learned a lot of like how to make sense of opportunities and shit. One of the important ones was I realized like it's so critical to ask an entrepreneur, either yourself or one you're considering investing in or working for or partnering with or paying, like whatever it is. What did you just do for fun as a kid?
Yeah.
Like, and what would you do as a kid that would help you lose track of time?
Yeah.
And for me, it was making videos and doing art.
Oh, interesting.
I would like come home from school every day and I'd either put my camera on a tripod and like do some skateboarding tricks and then run inside and like edit a video of it and then, oh, I need to fix that kickflip, and I go back out and do it again. I did that till midnight every day of the week for years.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like practicing day trading. I wasn't like looking at spreadsheets. I was in fucking Final Cut Pro and Microsoft Paint and learning HTML and CSS on MySpace. Like I was making stuff. And then somewhere along the way, and I think a lot of people, like you lose sight of that and you go down the path that like the world tells you to go on. Like everyone told me like, don't be an artist, don't be a filmmaker. Like you're never gonna make a living for yourself. It's not gonna happen. So, okay, let's build a startup. Let's get into VC. Let's do the thing. But then I think it's really important to like try to find your way back to it if you did lose sight.
Yeah.
You know, I think now my half brother, he's a sophomore in high school. Like he comes home from school every day, day trades. I'm like, go into finance.
Yeah, that's
like,
a purebred
be a fucking investment banker. Don't like try to go then be an engineer or maybe like a data engineer, but like do the thing that just like really does come natural to you. And I went through this, I don't know, maybe spiritual crisis for a long time, 10 plus years maybe, where I felt like the thing that came natural to me was not big enough, wasn't badass enough. I was like, I wouldn't be caught dead just making websites or videos for people. I'm so above that.
Yeah.
I remember once, there's a weird story. I'll climb this first.
Let's do it. I like it.
I haven't like thought about the story much or brought it up much, but it really did stick with me since I was a kid. This one's gonna be hard.
You want me to do it first?
If you want.
You got it.
Give it a go.
Ooh.
I always love to like try to plot it before you do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Ooh.
Damn, you just cruised up that. Spider-Man over here.
This actually is a little tougher than I hoped. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was struggling a little bit on there.
Goes up there?
Yes, sir. Oh, good. Well, we should. All right. You got it. You got this out.
So I'll share this story.
Yeah, it's because the story's on your mind.
I was in college. I built a online course business.
Yeah.
Masterclass had just popped off.
Yeah.
And there were all these online course websites that launched. Lynda.com was the big one, and they got bought by LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Online courses blew up. And I was like, this is interesting. They all suck. Because none of them are engaging, and none of them have anything like cinematic to it. And as a filmmaker, as a videographer, I was like, I like need to learn this stuff. I don't want to take this course because it's like some Zoom call, basically. Yeah. Masterclass figured that out. They were like, let's make really cinematic courses.
Yeah.
Just like, what if we did that for creatives to learn business skills? Because that was I was like, damn, there's all these like great photographers, great videographers, great designers who need to learn how to build a career out of this.
Yeah.
We could teach that in a great course. Okay, so through that, we interviewed in the courses, our approach was like interview professionals that these people look up to.
Yeah.
Lots of great people, one of which was Brad Feld.
Yeah.
Major, like one of the top VCs in the world. at the time. I think he's actually like retired or semi-retired now, but we had Brad on. Brad was big Boulder figure, one of the co-founders of Techstars, main partner at Foundry Group, like basically a billionaire probably. Nicest guy in the world. And I had met him randomly a few times throughout college. Like he came and spoke to one of my entrepreneur groups that I was in, and like he met me for coffee once. Just a very like give back type dude. And then we had him on the course and I got to know him, hung out at his office. I remember I was out grabbing a beer once with a friend and he drove by in his fucking car. And was like, hey, Jake. And my friend was like, you know Brad Feld? I was like, so cool. Okay. A couple months later, I graduated, shut down the company, it failed. Now I'm in this transition period of like, I don't know what to do or build next. And I picked up a quick like freelance gig one day to go shoot photos at this investor luncheon. Because I was just like, yeah, I'll take $200 and like go shoot pictures for this luncheon. I still had the LLC from the agency I started prior. And at the end of the luncheon, they went around, there were probably like 20 older white dudes in suits there. They went around the table and all had to make an ask. And one of them was, I'm trying to get in touch with Brad Feld. As I'm raising my next fund. Does anybody here know him? And there were crickets. And I'm like, I'm the photographer. These were like 50, 60-year-old guys. And I was like, I know. And then the dude who hosted it cut me off and he goes, just take pictures. He goes, just take pictures. And I'm like, okay. Like I was the one in the room who actually could make the intro, theoretically. And then they all decided, no one knows him, can't make the intro. He left empty-handed, basically. And I remember leaving that day feeling horrible. I was like, I will never just be the photographer. I will never just be taking photos again. That really bruised my ego. And I was like, I need to be at that table. I need to be the head of that table. It lit a fire under me, and that, you know, so to come full circle with it, spent most of my 20s then like in that venture world, but always with the lens of media. Like anything we'd invest in or incubate, I would always think of it as like, okay, but like, what's the branding play here? What's the story here? How can this like be relevant on social? Is there a there? And then, you know, my partners, whomever, would look at it from the other directions, and like, that was cool. The world didn't care about like content. There wasn't a word. Content's a new word. Our world didn't care about that. They didn't care about the word UX, UI. They didn't care about designers. The creatives were always the peons in tech until COVID, late COVID. Like, content's probably a 4-year-old word. We're talking an era from 6-7 years ago. And then one day, a friend of mine calls me up and he's like, I built this company. We just raised $1 million from Gary Vee and a few others. I need a CMO. You want to do it? And I was like, you know, yeah, I would like to like get back into creating, and it's still kind of in that like venture world. It was like a product in the VC space. So it made a lot of sense, and we built a podcast. I was like, it makes a lot of sense to do a podcast. I had like worked on podcasts before.
And which year was this?
2022.
Okay. Fairly recently.
Early 2022.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of life has been lived by us all in the last 4 years, but
and tell me, at this time, how big was podcasting? Like, was it the thing? No, it was not the thing.
Not at all.
I'm trying to remember 2022.
The brief was like, grow this brand on social media.
Yes, okay.
And you have,
I remember
Gary Vee and like a couple other decent names. He was the big one, and a few decent names to like work with. I was like, and you have no budget. The budget is your salary. So like, and your time. I was like, okay. It's like, well, what we're building is an online community and school for first-time founders. I can't run ads for this. Like, if I run ads for this, we become fucking University of Phoenix. I can't run an ad that's like, looking to start a company, like join our community. It completely dilutes the power of the brand. Because we were building a powerful brand. And I was like, all right, why don't we like bring Gary in, because we have him, and follow his playbook, which means record an interview that's like good, and then cut it up into a zillion pieces of content. That was Gary's playbook that he was pushing 4 or 5 years ago. So like record a 60-minute thing and you get 100 clips out of it for this new thing called TikTok, and Instagram Reels is like brand new.
Yeah.
And you've got 20 tweet threads and a bunch of LinkedIn posts and a blog post and a newsletter, and then the video version and then the audio version. Like you can take one 60-minute conversation and stretch it really far.
Yeah.
ChatGPT didn't exist.
Yeah.
No AI. So it was me and like a couple homies, and we're just manually like pressing record on some nice cameras, beautiful set, having these like sick interviews. Gary was in one, and then cut it up manually, and then wrote captions manually, and wrote blog posts manually from it. It was a full-time job to do one show.
Yeah.
Blew up.
That's pretty sick.
In 3 months, we grew our applicant pool, which was my KPI. I was like, get more applicants by 300%.
That's it.
3 months, 90 days. All because of these clips going, every fucking clip, dude, viral, viral, viral. Because the algorithm was so new, TikTok and Instagram Reels, easy to like figure out. It was basically like if you're posting, it will work at the time, that because it was so no one was doing it, and it worked. And then for other lots of reasons, that company failed. And like before we were even fully done, I ran into these dudes at a party in New York. One of them was like, "Hey, we just raised a pretty monster seed round. We're parting ways with our marketer.
Yeah.
We've seen that podcast you did. We think a podcast makes a lot of sense for how we want to grow. Might you be interested?" And I was like, yeah, I mean, it could work. I would also do like, we should also run ads. We should also do like work with creators on TikTok.
Yeah.
Also run a blog, but like, let's run it.
Yeah.
And now there's this new thing called ChatGPT. I was like, I bet actually I could throw the podcast transcript into ChatGPT and be like, make this into a blog post. I hadn't tried it yet.
Yeah.
They were paying me $25,000 a month.
That's crazy.
And this was just like a freelance gig.
Yeah.
We had a $25K a month budget. And I was like, fuck it, let's go rent like the sickest mansions in Soho in New York.
Yeah.
Let's maybe even pay some guests to come on. Let's bring like a legit ass film crew that does like, they film the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And let's like give this a real shot.
Yeah.
Podcast. We had Billy McFarland on episode 4. The company behind this is Posh. Posh is big now.
Yeah.
Podcast did great, blew up. Within a month of that, it was like the next founder friend, yo, I've seen, can you make me a podcast? Make me a podcast?
Yeah.
So built this model because I know founders, the model is you're really busy, as you should be. You want the podcast. You want to be the face of your brand.
Yeah.
You want the results of the podcast. But you don't want to do any of the work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of work, booking guests, legal and liability, finding the space, prep, recording, editing, revisions, posting, distribution. And you have to do all of it really well for any of it to work. If any one of those pieces is off, the thing sucks. So I was like, what if we built a studio, podcast studio, where we just had the client show up for 1 day a month to record, and we did everything else. Everything else.
Yeah.
And that's still the model. It's obviously evolved in smaller ways, but it's been 3 years. We've done 70 shows now. So that's kind of how it, like, the personal side of it, how one led to the next.
Yeah.
It is a long-winded story. But when I look back, I'm like, it makes perfect sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
It all makes perfect sense to me.
That's so intriguing. Do you, and I'm really interested in this one because I'm unsure, I'm very actually unsure how you're going to answer this. Do you consider yourself a go-to-market company?
It's a good question. No one's ever asked me that.
I think I would consider yourself a go-to-market company, if that helps.
I think so. We're in that world more than other worlds.
Right.
I mean, I've been asked too, like, are we a lead gen business?
Right.
Right. It depends on the situation, because sometimes we do shows where it's like, hey, we haven't launched our company yet.
Yeah.
And we want to use this podcast to aid in the launch and like build some buzz. We also want to use it to have an easy in with people in our space who won't give me the time of day.
Yeah.
And if I ask them for a meeting and I want the meeting to raise money, to sell to them, to hire them, like whatever it is, because we're so new, no one gives a shit about me, I can't get the meeting.
Yeah.
But if I invite them to be a guest on my podcast and we have like proof of the quality of the content and a Emmy award-winning film crew, which has happened, like a film crew has won an Emmy, so like I can say that. They're like, I'd love to come on. Oh, we rented this mansion in Tribeca. We'll send you an Uber Black car and we'll have your coffee order waiting. Everyone says yes. Now you've got them on speed dial because they were texting you when they were approaching the studio. So when that's the case, it's absolutely go to market.
Right.
For other shows that are like, hey, we already have 1 million followers and we're looking to now like, we've got a $100K a month budget for content alone. Like one of the new pillars we want to do this year is podcast.
Yeah.
In addition to a lot of other things. They don't need to go to market because they already are in the market.
Yeah.
And that's a big chunk of our shows now.
I was going to say, yeah, it's interesting because it's like, how many of your shows are like, these guys own a company, they have everything there, but the podcast or just any show? How many percent is that, you think? Is it a majority?
Like it's starting from scratch?
Yeah.
The majority.
The majority, right? Yeah, because I'm really curious. I feel like you would always have to pitch saying like, whatever it is that you need, like if it's the investor, if it's the customer, whatever it is, if that metric always goes up, you're always winning, right? That's why I'm always thinking go to market. I'm always like, it's so intriguing. I mean, what do you think about the statement, we should make mics more expensive?
People have like trolled me and like posted clips of me, like weird cuts that out of context sound worse than they are.
Yeah, we should make mics
and are like mics more expensive.
I was gonna say, before I met you, when like, because I'm in like a very similar space, I like look around and I'm like, I see everybody here, and I remember seeing your stuff, and I'm like, I've seen a lot of these, nothing that exciting, and I met you, I'm like, oh, wait a sec, he's a pretty smart dude here, and so it's like very intriguing.
I think it's good. Like, yeah. It's funny. I find it funny. The clip that first happened, someone like blasted this on Twitter, and it went super viral. I interviewed this dude who's he's like a PhD in psychology, jacked, Beggy Olaf, and this was on my show. We interviewed like how to approach anyone in public, whether it's for romantic reasons, business reasons, like at a networking event, whatever it is. And one of the questions I asked him was like, what's the psychology and the importance of remembering someone's name? Yeah. Because that's actually kind of a cool thing. Yeah. And he's like, when you remember someone's name, it means that you were genuinely listening to them. Yeah. And then he goes into all the psychology of it. Yeah. Somebody clipped, when you remember someone's name, it means you were listening to them. End of clip.
That's pretty funny.
And it got like, I think like 10 million views on Twitter in like a day. Yeah. And I honestly thought that was hilarious. That's way better than someone clipping like me saying something completely out of context and it sounding really offensive, but it's like, yeah. But yeah, making mics more expensive. I did a little project once. I didn't publish it, but when Sora was a thing for a bit, I made all these little clips like making fun of white dudes in tech podcasting. And one of the little clips we made was precisely about that, which is just like equipment should be a lot more expensive. But on the other hand,
I'm so curious. So, do you think that there are more podcasts available to enter the space when you're telling? Because I mean, obviously, you run a podcast production company. It seems like something's there for sure. Otherwise, you're a smart dude. You wouldn't be telling people to make podcasts. Tell me more about your vision there. More podcasts for sure. Is there? Love to hear more. What does it look like?
I think about this a lot because, of course, I need to think like what would kill my business. Yeah. I need to think about that a lot, and if I don't, I'm being irresponsible as a CEO. A visionary CEO. Yesterday, I saw a post on LinkedIn that was like a screenshot from Salesforce. Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but they just made their quarterly earnings calls into a podcast.
Oh, really?
Just put it out publicly.
It's clever.
Obviously, it's already public because they're a public company, but like put it on YouTube. I don't know if anyone has ever really done that before. And the caption on LinkedIn, someone was like, sheesh, everything's a podcast now. And I commented on it, I was like, this is good. Yeah. Like, more people making behind the scenes things more accessible to others is a net positive. Yeah. And my comment got a bunch of likes, and I do believe that. My take on it is, I like the idea of a world where everyone goes and starts a podcast. Yeah. I would love it if every single founder started at least one podcast at some point in their life and practiced hosting it. The reality is 95% of them will fail or will stop. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But the 5% that remain may have otherwise not have launched anything at all. Yeah. And I think that is a net positive. I think people have niche, unique stories that are a combination of their own weird things. Like, for example, for me, like, I'm a podcast guy. I also like am really into endurance sports and action sports. Like, that's my uniqueness. And there are others out there who are into tech media, who are into action sports that like tune into my niche. Great. And like, there's a lot of people I tune into that have this overlap of 2 or 3 multi-dimensional things that make them super niche, and I trust them to the core. I love tuning into them because they get me and my uniqueness as well. So I think like podcasts can just get infinitely more niche and multi-dimensional. Like, this is the show for fucking basketball players who also are widows. This is the show for cat lovers who love karate. Like, and then there's riches in that. Like, a brand that's like, we make fucking protein powder for basketball players who are also recently divorced. If you're a basketball player and you're recently divorced, you're going to spend 10x more money on that protein powder than the other regular protein powder, because like, they got me, they get me. And so that's the one piece. And then I think the next is, as the internet becomes bigger and just like more loud and more just saturated, that's the word. Also at the same time, the algorithms are getting better and more targeted. And I love it. Like, okay, here's a question for you and anyone listening. Think about the last time you got an ad for a product you like really fucked with. Almost never, but when it has happened, like a thing that you actually were like, damn, I like this. How did you feel about the fact that you got that ad?
Amazing. I was like,
grateful.
I was like, oh shoot,
I'm
like,
glad I got this ad.
Yeah. Saved me a lot of time. I'm like, oh, bet.
Like,
right?
Oh, I've been looking for this thing. Like, I'll give an example. Lately, I've been looking for a really good carabiner for my keys.
I like that.
Because I recently lost my keys. They fell off my waistband while I was biking, and they're gone. And that's like, that sucks. Now I'm like, I need a good carabiner for my keys. A day later, I get an ad for this fucking sick brand that makes dope carabiners with like good content. And I went and did my research, and they're the best carabiners, and I bought it. Instagram ad. I was really glad I got that ad. Because now the algorithms, they can do that. And that's niche. Like, that's niche, and that's really good. I think that's a good thing. And so for people who are really struggling with things, whether that's like a health issue, whether it's a personal issue, like emotionally, whether it's a business issue that they're trying to figure out, for the antidote to find them that otherwise wouldn't have been recorded, I think is good.
That makes a lot
and then I'll share one more piece here, that my CFO is also at times my CEO coach, and he's a very close, trusted person in my life. And he said to me a while back, when I didn't intend for Thursday Labs to become a big business. I intended for just me and a few freelancers to like make videos for our founder friends, and I'd have a lot of free time. Like, I was at a chapter in my life where I wanted space and time. Not anymore. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, we're getting all this inbound and all this demand. I didn't like want to build I don't want this stress. Like, I didn't want to build a thing. And he goes, I'm going to share a story with you. Imagine 2 doctors. One of them they're both cancer doctors. One of them says he has the cure to cancer. He's loud. He's a great marketer. Billboards everywhere. Everyone in this country flies to meet with this guy to cure their cancer so they don't die. He didn't cure cancer, though. He's just good at making you feel like he did and make you think he did, because it's marketing. All those patients died in his hands. Doctor number 2 has the cure to cancer. Actually has it. Not good at marketing. Not making billboards. Not screaming from the rooftops. None of the patients are going to him. They're dying because they're in the hands of the wrong person. So now here's the question. Doctor 1, Doctor 2. Who is in the wrong? Who's doing malpractice?
That's a fair point.
I think it's Doctor 2. Doctor 1's doing what we all fucking do as founders. We're trying to storytell. We're trying to build the thing. But have we really built the thing? Have you all really built the thing? Like, no, you built a fucking vibe-coded landing page off of someone else's API. But then the person who actually built the thing and like has great problem solving, has great solutions, but you're not getting it in front of the right people, and then because of that, they're dying, quote unquote, you're in the wrong. That's malpractice. And so to put a bow on it, I meet every day some really, brilliant, amazing humans who are building things, most of which you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Because they haven't marketed it yet or don't know how. And it's my job to actually package and position and like make them the gal or guy that can solve the problem for the person. And like, I feel a lot of responsibility for that and a lot of power in that. And when it works, like my client or my host gets a DM that's like, hey, I just came across your content and it like saved me 10 hours, or I just came across your content, I sent it to my friend because they really needed to hear this. Like, thank you. Like,
best feeling in the world, right?
If I make no money off this and like, after just start over, like, and as long as I put those on my wall, I'm happy. I'm good.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I held a podcast for 3 years, and I remember like I literally just shot a video for one of our launches, and it was like I was sitting there at night and I was thinking like, what do I really want to talk about? Because I don't host a show anymore. I do this and like, you know, do my company things, and it was like, dude, I missed like the first couple episodes where I had people on that like no one knew who they are. Like this is probably it, and it's sad to say, but that might be like the only interview like they've ever done and ever will do. But like, man, like were they great humans? It was like,
which one stands out to you?
There is my first one was with a guy who, like a very close friend of mine. He's like beloved in his town. Like everybody really likes this dude. He's like the mayor of his town. He runs a gym in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. He was like the guy who got me into fitness. He's a guy who like taught me everything I need to know about lifting in the health world. And it's like, he's been on podcasts before, and you know, he gets to go on shows, and that's amazing for him. And there's also like, he introduced me to a bunch of his friends, and all of my original guests couldn't get guests on because like, you know, knowing who I was, podcasting was also like a little weird at the time. Because like, what is this thing? It's a little odd. I remember it's like, I interviewed a guy who used to always be barefoot and like only train in very like natural ways and like no lifting and things like that. I remember I interviewed a guy who was a barista all day and lived with his mom and ran ultra marathons at nighttime for training, and he like was like an insane ultra marathon runner. I met a guy who was like incredible power lifter. He was like a ranked power lifter, very, very talented, and now like his knees are messed up, but honestly all he cares about is his daughter now, and he's like, I just want to do this. And it's like, those to me are the most exciting ones. It's like no one gets to see it. And I mean, like, I remember doing CrossFit media and like going out, and it was really weird because it'd be like 30 media people, and like 29 of them go after like the top 3 people, which is like everybody wants the person who's doing like number 1, who wants number 1, who's number 2, number 3, and after that it's like, that's it. And then versus, I was always like, and it was honestly on accident because I was like a kid and I was like, what could I do to just get number 1 because I want the most views? And then on accident, because none of the number 1s wanted to speak to me because it wasn't big enough, I got some of the people who got eliminated day 1, got eliminated day 2, and they were the coolest ones.
Yeah. Who's someone you would want to interview now that you is essentially a ghost or a zero to the world? Like no one knows them, that you're like, but their story, like everyone needs to hear this.
Oh man, I love that one. Honestly, I've been thinking about this a lot. To me, there's never really one person, but it's like the ability to be able to tell the story of somebody who isn't famous is just such a hard concept to do. It's very, very, very difficult. And this is actually one thing I'm very passionate about, is like, this is one of those instances in which data doesn't actually make sense. And so what I mean by that is, I used to run surveys a lot. I come from tech. I run surveys on my podcast, and it was like, what do you want to hear more of? And everybody would say, I want to hear more stories of people who you've never heard of before. Like, what are just original stories? I released more of them. They all did worse.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's weird. I should just do more of it. Maybe they just suck. And I tried everything to do. I was like, what can I do to craft this? What can I do to make it better? And it's like, it still didn't work. And put something out with somebody who's already big, and then all those same people go and watch that one. And that was one of those things in which I was like, oh, you know, like to be able to tell the stories of people who aren't big and aren't famous is so incredibly hard. Like one show I've been loving, and like I've been chatting with their team so much now, is Keep the Meter Running. Did you see that show?
No, I actually haven't.
Subway Takes, Kareem Rama, they just put up a long form, Keep the Meter Running.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, so you know, Subway Takes, he goes through things like So What's Your Take, right? So now he has one that they did, Adam Faye's a great producer. And essentially it's like, he gets in a taxi cab and he's like, take me to your favorite spot, keep the meter running. And he gets to see the story of all these cool places in New York, all of these really cool people. And it's like, man, to me, like the team it takes to make something like that, everything that makes something like that, I'm like, wow, it's incredible. Like, and so to answer your question, to be honest, it's like, my biggest excitement is like, I wonder how I can build a motor. So it's like every single time it's like, it's always there because it's like even
it's
if
a paradox in podcasting.
It is,
we
right?
See it. We get very analytical and like strategic about this. There's a philosophy behind it. There's like literal strategy.
Yeah.
There are guests who are meant to just like bring you views and followers and go viral.
Yeah.
Then there are guests who are meant to like actually share the stuff that's important.
Yeah.
You need both.
I think so.
Because you need the views and the followers to get people to like kind of trust you, like give you the time of day. And I look at those as like the viral clips with the big guests, the big names. Those are your door openers.
Yeah.
That's the like the outside of the house, the outside of the building looks sick. But then if there's no like, and normally those people, they don't go very deep.
Yeah.
Because they can't, because they have PR people telling them, you got to stay at this surface level. If you've heard of their name, you most likely aren't going to get something super deep out of them. There, of course, are like exceptions to that rule, but they go on the circuit. They tell the same story every time. And it's up to the podcast host to be an incredible conversationalist and question asker. And unfortunately, only like 0.1% are.
But yeah, it's an art. It's a big thing.
It's just this reality. Then there are the folks that, and I hear it all the time. I'm like, oh, I want to share these like underrepresented stories. I want to share the stories no one's ever heard. And I'm like, great, me too. We all want to hear those stories. But no one's going to click on it because it's just another fucking random face they've never heard of on TikTok or on Instagram. So like, why would they?
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
If you're at a position with your show where like you're making stars out of people, which is a really, really special place to be, like no one's ever heard of you. But if you come on my show, now they will. Meaning you've already have a lot of devout listeners. Well, that's when you're probably making a ton of money off the show because you're the kingmaker, a queen maker, and brands want that too.
I want to go into this more. Do you want to run back this piece?
Yeah.
You two, we'll give it a shot. Let me watch you this time. I might be able to.
Yeah, sure.
This is wonky, to be fair. Very wonky. Nice. There you go. Get that feet up again. Nice.
I don't like this one here. That's what's messing me up.
It is really trippy because you have to go with a high left foot.
Up here?
Yeah, it's because you got to shift your weight over. That's why I was like, when I got on, ooh, that was not, this feels a little hard. Yeah. All right. There you go. Now shift your weight over that left foot as you grab this one. It's tricky. You want to go a different one?
You try it. You already do this one, right?
You want to see me? Here, I'll show you this one.
I don't like quitting. I don't like giving up.
No, I feel you, but don't worry. We have a lot of climbing. This is not an easy
Oh,
one.
you went right into that.
Okay, so
It's that little finger hold that
it's not an easy. It's not a two.
I have very
Next one.
weak fingertips. I will
This isn't
say.
a two. Let's go to the cave. We'll go over to the cave. I like that.
We'll come back to it. We're not quitting. We're just pivoting. Using my tech words today.
We'll get a lot of climbing around the gym.
I'm down for some like inverted shit.
You want to do some cave right now?
Something mellow. That's inverted-ish. I don't know. Just makes it fun. Let's try it out. This blue
We're
one
going
here.
right for it. Yeah, why don't we get on this blue one?
Up and around.
Yeah. Nice, man. Such a big dude in the cave. It's like you're gonna hit your head. Just be careful.
That was actually pretty easy. Given
I like that
what
one,
it
yeah.
was. Good flow in there.
That other one was a little nuts.
Do you ever climb outside?
I've never have actually.
Oh, nice.
I like this one.
Try this one.
Yeah, this one's good. You'll like this one a lot. You're good, beans, yep. There you go. Nice, man. You have a good right hand. It's really good. There you go. There you go. You see what I'm saying? That other two was like
was weird.
compared to this one.
It's
Yeah,
a little finger hold.
I like felt that one. I was like, ooh.
Maybe this green one here. There's some big jugs, is that what we call them?
Yeah. You ready for it? You can rip it if you're ready.
Backwards hat, turning the switch on. This is whenever I'm at mile 4, turn it back.
There you go. You're good, you're good, you're good. You're good. There you go. Easy. Looking strong,
That felt
dude.
good.
There you go, looking
That
strong.
felt good.
Let's chill.
That was fun, actually. You should try that one.
Yeah.
I like
this one.
Yeah, the green.
One. I like it. Oops.
So smooth. So
Wait until I
smooth.
start climbing something like that in there. It will not look as smooth.
That was great.
How are your forearms? You want to talk for a little bit more? Or you keep ripping it? We talked for a while last time, so I don't know.
I'm curious, what's a question about anything?
Yeah.
Question you've like really wanted to just ask someone on camera that you've been terrified to ask someone on camera?
No. I'm trying to think about it. What number would it be like? I'm done with Thursday Labs. So
Ooh. I was asked this recently
yeah.
in a more like men's group, like journaling exercise type of scenario.
Yeah.
And the number I wrote down was $25 million.
Okay.
That would like go in my pocket. Like I liquidate and put 25 mil in my pocket. I own 100% of the company and it's fully bootstrapped. So like if I sell it for 25 mil, I take home 25 mil before taxes. But what was weird was then the next question is, what would you do next?
Yeah.
I was like, well, realistically, I'd probably take 6 months
Yeah.
and I'd fuck off. Do a bunch of surfing, maybe a year, and just like dedicate to like the next Ironman training.
Yeah.
But then I would have to start this thing again.
Right.
Some closely related version of this company, I'd have to do it all again.
Yeah.
Which leads you back to the original question, and it's like, so then why sell?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Exactly, right? It's
Like at the end of the day, like, what is really the point? Is it to like make the money? Because then it's like, well, if you're just gonna go do it again, will the money like reduce the stress? Will the money just like give you a nicer house to do it in? Like, of course, we all want to like get rich off of it.
yeah.
Gives you more tools. But I'll tell you, man, like I haven't pocketed 25 mil yet.
Yeah.
But I definitely have hit milestones financially that X number of years ago I dreamed of.
Yeah.
And I have definitely learned that they don't solve any of the problems you think they're going to solve.
Interesting.
Never does.
Really?
Like you make a list of like, okay, let's say I make $500,000 or $1 million or whatever it is. And like, here's what I think the problems it's going to solve for me.
Yeah.
Just write it down. Then you will make that amount of money. Look at the list.
That's a fair point.
Like it solves a couple of short-term money problems. It was like, oh, I'm going to clear my debt.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool.
You know, I'm very intrigued. You do a lot of self-reflection. You do a lot of thinking on this. This went viral on like X a while back, but I think on Mark Andreessen said, he was like, I don't do any self-reflection. It just makes me soft. And it's actually like, it's been so interesting that I've heard a lot of founders say something along the lines of that in different ways, where it's like, they just don't take time to pause because it makes them soft. Do you have any opinions on that? What do you think? Because you obviously do self-reflection.
Only to the tune of like, I do think there is a moment to stop. I love the self-reflection. I love looking inward. I love the deep thought.
Yeah.
But I do think there is a moment where it's too much and you like think yourself out of action or you think yourself out of success and out of happiness.
Uh-huh.
I do know people who are like at the extreme end of the spectrum of mindfulness and thoughtfulness, and a lot of them are close friends.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, they're all like single and like struggling, and they have never like committed to a career path. Like they're continuing to figure shit out. And I'm like, dude, you're 47 and you still are like trying to figure it out. Like I get the like, I'll never have figured it out, but like you're still like trying to find yourself. Like I think you should have found yourself by now. That's just my take. And I think it's just because they keep just questioning everything. Oh, like this relationship, it's not perfect, and it's the X, Y, and Z problem, so I'm gonna leave it. Yeah. This business, it's like nothing's gonna be perfect. Like things are gonna have elements that suck. Like that's the beauty of it. That's amazing. I think there's nothing wrong with Mark's take.
Yeah.
It's not my take. And quite frankly, like also I don't want his life. I don't want to be him.
It's really intriguing, right?
Life.
Yeah, I think Sahil Bloom said there. He's like, I remember he was just looking at the guys. He's like, oh, I want to be like Warren Buffett. But he's like, right now, would I trade lives with Warren Buffett? I said, he was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
You ever heard the like, if everyone in the room, 100 people around the table, like threw their problems on the table on a card, and you get to choose one to take home with you, everyone would choose their own.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important like reminder.
It's a fair point. Yeah, I like that, because it's like, it's so interesting to me just being a founder, because it's like, in a weird way, as you're navigating, like, where is my business going to be the most? It's also like a very like personal thing as well, because you're like, oh, let's say this business is working, it moves me down this path. What does this look like at the end of the road? Oh, didn't like that one. So even if there is a lot of opportunity here, can't exactly go down this way. Is it maybe this way? And you would like calibrate a little bit, go down that. And it's like a very like personal thing, which has been so surprising to me, because I was like, to me, like being a founder, like this is the closest like I've ever, well, I mean, now I'm a founder. Always wanted to be a founder. Every time I got a little closer, but like physically being a founder has been like, it's still so shocking to me, because it's like the most like personal thing ever, where it's like a lot of it, that decision is very personal. That's like very innate. It's very like, where's the genius zone? Where's like where literally is the internal compass? And so I'm like that too. I'm like a little self-reflection, and then go for a long period of time until like you kind of like lose wherever it is of the sense of it, reflection again, and then you go again. Otherwise, I notice, at least personally, I will obsess over any problem. And if I'm like too much into self-reflection, like I will break into nothing that's not really happening there. Eventually, nothing will work, right? Yeah. And it's like, I need that like back and forth between the two too.
I look at life, this is my personal philosophy on it, is like everything is a practice and a journey to grow. When I was in college, I attended a talk. My friend Aiden, good friend of mine, started this student group when we were in college called Liftoff, and it was a chance for all the entrepreneurial kids to get together at a co-working space on Wednesday night every week and have like some slightly older badass founder in town who we thought was bigger than life, but they were just like 22-year-old founder, would come in and give us a talk about like stuff, and we could just ask questions, and it was really special. And Pascal Wagner came one day, and he said something that I've never forgotten, and I quote it a lot, which is, entrepreneurship is the greatest path to your truest self. And his argument there was, it is so hard. Yeah. It's so hard. And we hear that, it's like a platitude, but it is so hard 110% of the time. Yeah. And you need to give it your all 110% of the time. Cool. So when you're giving it 110% of the time, who are you going to become then? The best version of yourself, 110% version of yourself. Yeah. And I think it's a miss. It's just a miss to like do that and not take a moment regularly to look in the mirror, look at yourself and be like, and like, who am I becoming? What am I learning? Like, what am I doing? What's this for? I think it's just for the sake of becoming and doing it. A lot of this comes up as well in the endurance sports community. Like, why do we run like so many miles and just like sit on a bike for so many hours for years and years, and like no music, no one's there. It's just you and like your feet, or you and your wheels, or you in the pool, like you in the mountain, whatever. You're so in it. We just do it because it like teaches us about ourselves in so many ways. And I look at entrepreneurship as the same thing. So like I have a really shitty day, which quite frankly, when you're building a company, is more often than not, as just like, okay, like that's what a shitty day is for me right here, right now. And like, what can I learn from that? How can I be better? How could I like make tomorrow maybe a little less shitty in this way?
Yeah.
And you just do that in like micro ways, but keeping the macro perspective all the time. And then eventually like you have your bag or like you get the thing.
Yeah.
And I just think that's the point of it. It's just this hike. It's just this journey. And it makes it less daunting and less black and white, less almost transactional. Like I just do it if I don't make 100 mil off this, then like it wasn't worth it. It's like, well, like really? Like was that really all it was for? Yeah. Everyone I know who's done that has turned around and said like, it wasn't worth it. It's not what I thought it was.
That's interesting.
Wish I fucking enjoyed it more. Wish I like paid attention more.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
That's fair. I had a really good conversation with a friend recently, and she was talking to me about how like for her agency, and she gave me a lot of pushback on this, and I was like very happy she did, because I was like, I know I do business with 1 out of every 10 people I meet, right? So I'm like, okay, well, it's a numbers game. So
that's what she said?
That's what I said.
I'm
like, okay, 1 out of every 10. So I'm like, okay, so if I meet 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, 400, I'll do more business. Pretty simple. And then she told me, she was like, well, you know, that's a very like startup-y answer, because that's just what I come from, and it's like it makes a lot of sense. But she's like, have you ever considered what would your life look like in 10 years if you actually did that? And I was like, oh shoot. That was a pretty interesting one, because it was like, along with those 10 people, maybe I actually really, really like as a person, like as a friend, like as a human, like maybe one of them, right? And if that's the person I do business with, that's great. If it happens, that's great. But if that person I didn't like, and all of a sudden I filled my like life with people who cause me tons of problems, I don't get along with them, I don't trust them as human beings, and it's like, this is my life, I'd be like, oh, this is terrible. And she gave me a lot of feedback saying like, yeah, like that was originally what I did, because she was from startups too, and she's like, I originally went after that, and I felt like I put myself in a glass box where I'm like, oh, now I'm just stuck in this thing because it makes me money. And you know, she's like, it makes me a lot of money, but it sucks every day. And so she had to take a step back and be like, you should do this. And it really changed my perspective on it. I was like, just that little mindset shift to be like, oh, who are these people who are like, these people could be my best friends potentially. I trust them as a human, trust them as these people, and then we do business with these people. It's been a big unlock. It's not something that like, I think Silicon Valley talks about that much. It's very like ruthless, let's go for the win. But like running like this agency relationship business is just like so interesting to me.
Yeah. I'm glad she mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, open your mind to it a bit.
I'm curious. Let's, I have more questions for you. I was going to say, you want to rock this cave?
Let's rock this cave.
Let's go.
V4?
Yeah, I was going to
blue
say.
one? Navy blue?
Yeah, I was going to say, some of these holds don't look like that color, but I can't tell. I'm going to get closer.
What's this white one? Doesn't say.
This might be a good project for us. It might take us a minute. I wonder what this white one is. This white one looks sick too. It's not marked, but. So, it's purple, right?
Yeah, I think that's straight up here, up to there.
For a second, I thought that was a black. I was like, I can't tell for a second. Oh, I like this one. Let me go first?
Yeah.
This is going to be a...
How has your fitness and passion for fitness impacted your career?
It's an interesting question, because it's like, I feel like it's always been super intertwined with each other, where I went on this like, I had a really similar thing to you, which was like, I grew up in the Bay. Everyone in the Bay does tech, right? And so it's like, what was the thing I'm going to do? I'm going to go study engineering, because that's the thing. You know, it's the thing you do. Pretty much with no thought about how good am I at it? Do I like it? None of that stuff. And so I started like messing around with health a little more, and I was like, I know I've really involved with this. I've been an athlete my whole life, and I'm like, I wonder if I could slowly play into this. And so I started trying different things, and I was like, oh, maybe do I want to be a personal trainer? Tried it. No, I didn't like it. Do I want to be a sports medicine like guy? Do I want to like, you know, train athletes? Tried it. Didn't really like it that much. I want to be a PT. Tried it. Didn't like it. And I started like going down this road. And then when I tore my ACL, I was like, it literally took me out of like, I can't play sports anymore. And that was like my whole life. So I love sports. And so that's what got me into the podcast, which was like, can't do health, maybe I could talk about it, right? And so that's what got me into podcast, started doing that, and then podcasting got me to Superpower. And then after Superpower, I ended up here, and it's like, this is probably, interestingly enough, the furthest that my business has been away from health. But at the same time, it's like, it's deeply intertwined, because it's like, what keeps me in shape helps me stay, like, have good clarity for business. And then good business allows me to invest more into my health. And it's like this like continuous cycle there. I actually don't think I would do anything great in the business world if I just didn't train at all. It would make me go nuts. I would go crazy. My uncle's like the biggest example of this in my family, because he's like pretty much, I think, the only other founder in my family. And he's like, dude, I just go insane if I can't train. I just can't do it. It's the only way I could actually relax this business mind. Otherwise, it's going to run forever. I won't sleep at night. I won't do anything else. And so deeply intertwined and just always on. But how about yourself? What do you think?
Action sports are my world.
Yeah.
Snowboarding, surfing, used to be skateboarding when I was a kid, mountain biking for a lot of years. Now it's like a little more of the like endurance action sports overlap. So
Yeah.
training for Ironman right now. Cycling, I fucking got addicted to cycling like 5 years ago. Obviously now I love to run.
Yeah.
I have double black diamonds tattooed here.
Oh, what's that?
This is the hardest trail on the mountain. when
Oh,
skiing.
really?
So trails when you're skiing are like green is the easiest, then blue, then black diamond, then double black diamond. And I got it right the day after I graduated from college. I've been snowboarding since I was 3.
Oh, wow. You grew up in Boulder, right? And so
Grew up in New York, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But
snowboarding in Vermont, and then moved out to Colorado when I was 18.
Oh,
and,
wow. So that was a big thing there.
Yeah, I started riding like 80 days a year.
Jeez.
And this is, of course, like the hardest trail on the mountain,
Yeah.
shred, but it's actually the next level up is it's a symbol for leaning into adversity and challenge and like the hard thing, do hard shit. And that's where you grow the most and learn the most and feel the most. And I've then oriented my whole life around that philosophy. Obviously in the sports I do, like this year I'm like doing 2 70.3 Ironman 70.3, it's like half Ironman, and probably next year I'm going to do a full Ironman. I'm climbing the biggest mountain in the U.S., the continental U.S., in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going to come next year. Don't know where I'll be in 20 years. Like I just need to keep getting more extreme with it, I guess.
Yeah.
There are lots of ups and downs along the way. I look at my career as the same thing.
Yeah.
Every decision that's put in front of me, I do run it through the like tattoo test of like, what is the double black diamond version of this? What is the non-double black diamond version of this? Is this a time? Is this one of the ones where I should take the double black or take the green?
Yeah.
Not everything needs to be the hardest. Sometimes it's better to take the easy, efficient route.
Yeah.
But no, that's not where you grow.
That's a really good point. That's so interesting, because it's like, I'm really glad you brought that up. That's just something I've been thinking about so much, because like, I have a very hard time if somebody tells me I'm not able to do something.
Yeah, I have another tattoo. That's that.
Oh, really?
It's they said it couldn't be done, but you went out and did it.
Yeah.
It's a song quote.
And so
That's my stomach, by the way.
Dude, that's so interesting. So like, for me, last year I tried to do the Escape from Alcatraz.
That's brutal.
Right. It was a crazy
fucked
one.
up swim.
I know, right? And I was like, I was training for it like crazy, and I was doing everything like that, and like so much was just going on in my personal life, like business and everything, and just I couldn't race it. And then no one, like, it was really interesting. It was a very quiet journey to do it. I didn't hear about anything from anybody up until race day and nothing like that. But as soon as I didn't go, because I was super sick, nothing was going right for me. I was like, I pulled like my trap, and I was like, I can't physically move anymore. I'm like done. I started getting all of the phone calls and saying, oh, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have tried. You shouldn't have done this stuff. And you're not able to do this. You can't do it. And so in my brain, I'm thinking now, like, they all said I couldn't do it. I want to do this. Like, I want to do it. But I'm like,
Now you have to.
And now I have to. And it's like one of those interesting things where I'm like, well, my business is already really hard. I don't know if this is always going to be like something I always want to lean to, because being on the internet, being a founder, we're always going to have things that people tell us no. And my instant reaction can't be like, I'm going to get you, because like, I can't do that for everything. You know, there's only so many hard
check
things.
this out. Something really weird happened for me this year that really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Around Thanksgiving this past year, so 9 months ago, half a year ago, I was at a dinner table with my girlfriend, my sister, her boyfriend, and my best friend.
Yeah.
Kai, and Kai had just signed up to do a half Ironman.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's crazy, bro. Like, you can do a half Ironman? Like, you like just got into running. I was like, I love to bike. I like to run. Fucking hate swimming.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm thinking like, we should do this. Like, should we do this together? Should I do it? Kind of gave the like loose invitation to do it too. And I signed up.
Yeah.
And this was on Christmas I signed up. So I sat on it for a few months. I kept thinking like, I don't want to like stop surfing so much this year because like 2-a-day workouts, 6 days a week, 1 rest day. Like there's not a lot of time to surf. And I'm trying to scale my company. Like I signed up and I was talking to my CFO about it like beginning of the year. And I was like, look, I think 2026 needs to be a year, at least for me. My business, bootstrap this thing. Like I get to decide. Training comes first. Yeah. Like training comes first this year before work.
Yeah.
I think that means we need to like harvest and maintain what we built. Like we built we do 100, 150K a month in revenue, like happy with that for now. I can't add more stress to my plate because this year the focus is on training.
Oh, interesting.
And he was like, okay. He's almost done like, what do you need me for? Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
And that was the P1. That was the P1 for a couple months. And then I realized I was like, something's off. Something's going on here. And I'm training so hard.
Yeah.
Seeing my progress every week. Lots of ups and downs. What it was actually doing was forcing me to then want to go bigger and better at work.
Oh, interesting.
Because I think what was happening was the training was so hard that it was putting all my work shit under a microscope and illuminating how it was easy.
Oh, interesting.
And it made like my days almost then feel like the training's hard, but work's a fucking joke. Like, it's just easy. What am I doing? Yeah. And it then flipped a switch now and back to my CFO. And I was like, we're scaling 5X this year. Like we have to. Yeah. We have to now like go balls to the wall. And he's like, attaboy. That's what we're here to do. And so all the hard shit outside of work inspired me to like need work to also be really hard. Interesting. And it was the opposite of what I expected. Yeah. So now it's like, okay, I got these 2 like really hard things in my life. Yeah. Scaling a business, choosing for it to be, at any moment I could just like get rid of the hard clients and stop the scaling and like just work on 6 shows, 7 shows and make $500,000 a year by myself and like work 4 hours a day. I could do that at any point. Yeah. But like, then what? Like, then it stops there and kind of then just sort of phases out. I'm just a good freelancer at that point. Yeah. And that came from the training.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I'm not sure I articulated it that well.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Because I've been thinking about it a lot, like, that's been going on in my brain. It's a weird feeling to be like, I have less time to work on my business. But it's like, the way I've been looking at it, and like, me and my team have been talking about this, and it's like, oh, like somehow you're here less, but your P1s are like you're moving it much more effectively. Yep. Because you're driven very well. It's like such an interesting,
efficient, delegating more.
Right.
It definitely was like a really great. You hear it a lot, the case studies, but to see it come to life of like hire great people, delegate really well, get the fuck out of their way, and you will get bigger and better results in the long term. Mm-hmm. It's like a bigger investment up front. Feels painful up front. It's scary. Yeah. I went through 3 months of like really struggling emotionally to delegate. Yeah. To like rewire my brain from like, I'll just do this to like, you do it better than me. Like you do it. I don't want to be, I shouldn't be the one doing it. And now my default is like, I don't, like there's one thing I should be doing, maybe 2. Yeah. Everything else like is taken care of by people better than me at it. Yeah. Until they're not. And then we got to like reorient that. Yeah. And that's the difference between just like, I'm fucking freelancing, making podcasts, and like I'm building a network. Yeah. I'm building the network. And I don't think without training, I don't think that would have happened this year.
All right. Want to rip this one?
What do you think? I don't know if I'll fit in here.
Dude, I know you're a big dude in that cave.
You start with both feet here or here?
I think so. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to figure this one out too. Let's see if we can figure this one out together.
It's really hard.
This is pretty legitimate. I'm trying to figure out. This one, I think.
This is an easy hold. You might be able to get 2 hands there.
I think so. But I realized that going right here is a trap.
Going right
You
here?
actually need this one.
Oh,
And so I was like, yeah, I was a little stuck.
unless you go here. That's a big reach.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty far. Well, let's see. I don't know.
I can't even like start on this one.
I think I might skip a line.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat. I think that's a trap. Ooh.
Very impressive.
Is it top out? Oh, is it top out? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that right one's a trap.
Okay. I don't even know how to start this shit, bro.
You got it. Stick those feet on there. Try just one foot.
Yeah, left foot.
Yeah, pick your strong foot and then swing one of those hands out. Yeah, there you go. Nice, man.
Ah, that's close.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a really hard one.
That's another good one on here. Anything else look interesting here? You want to rip this one more?
Yeah, I'll try it again. I'll
Okay.
get some shock.
Let's- Yeah, good left. Oh, right there.
Now I'm getting tired.
Take a break, take a breather.
Okay.
Do you like the cave? What do you think about it? Do you want to stay here or you want to keep moving?
I love this stuff. Just because it feels wild.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't looked around. Depends. If you want to look around more, there is more overhang stuff around here.
Yeah, let's go somewhere. Let's go on that side. Let's find something different.
Dude, you might be able to rip this white 5 here. It's a dyno. It's a jumpy one, but you're really tall.
From there all the way up there.
Yeah, you see that white right there? That is the right hand, I think. Well, let's see. Might be able to rip this one. But I gotta save our breath because we just did some came climbing.
When you're jumping, careful of this, because that's a
It's
goodbye shoulder real fast.
Yeah, I like my shoulders. That's a good heads up. You see that left down there? I
This
think you
guy?
need to grab that first. I
Yeah.
think you gotta go here and then a right above you. I think.
Yeah.
Does it feel good?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know how to start. I don't even know how to start this, bro.
I might not be a great example.
It's
Let's
very
see.
wonky.
Okay, let's see. Oops.
I guess, yeah, keeping that right foot out to start.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Rip that right hand around. You're good. Careful of your head though. Yeah, stay really far away from that wall. Like make your arms straight and just, yeah, like think like this. The
Yeah.
further you are away, that foot gets a little better.
Did you
But that
start
is-
here or here?
I did start there, yeah. Start with the right out, left there. Grab this left hand and then shift it over.
Puzzle.
I know, right? Nice, good. Now shift your feet over. Cause yeah, that foot's terrible. I was like, I gotta get out of there ASAP. The next one's better. Take a breather, take a breather.
Yeah. That's an interesting one.
It's an interesting one. Look at this yellow too. I'm like, ooh, maybe we could rip this yellow. Oh, it's so good too. All right. I think you could probably rip this one too. This yellow too looks so interesting.
Looks slippery.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, man. So you're producing podcasts for companies, and now you're back to where we started. You're telling me sponsorships is on the brain. What's going on? What's on your mind there?
The question is, how the hell do we capture it? Like, what does it look like for us to build that department, for lack of a better word? I don't know, because it feels new. Yeah. I have a few calls lined up with people who have like built like the ad networks at Beehive, at Workweek, at et cetera, like other companies, just to be like, what am I missing here? Yeah. The pieces I'm starting to kind of put together, if they're puzzle pieces, is like, okay, number one is I get, if the host of my show or me has a direct relationship already with like a key supplier, service vendor in their space, and we go to them first, like directly to the founder, you know, a small accounting firm or like a cool tech company that helps whatever. Yeah. And the relationship is already there, like it's much easier to obviously make the ask. Like that's almost trivial. Second is, if I go to the like head of marketing or anyone who like has some access to budget from a like traditional marketing standpoint, I hit a bit of a dead wall, a dead end, because the answers I typically get are like, how many monthly downloads do you get? They just look at the long form episode, and then they're like, we think in quarterly budgets. Yes. Like our Q4 budget is gone. Talk to us in a few months and we'll talk about Q1. Yeah. And it's like, all right, this is not what you want to hear, but like, it's good to know that. Yeah. But when I go to the head of creator partnerships at a brand, they're all about it. Yeah. They're used to working with like really unprofessional, pain in the ass creators. So when you approach them with like some professionalism and are just easy to work with and just do deals fast and like show up on time and like just look the part basically. Yeah. They like working with that. It's delightful to their job. Yeah. And they'll like wire money in a day. They don't need to wait till the next quarter's budget. So I'm like, okay, there's like green light there. There's pathway there. Yeah. There aren't head of creator partnerships at that many companies though. Yeah. So it's like, okay, we're, you know, a Shopify, for example, like they definitely have a head of creator partnerships. Yeah. But like a really niche law firm that wants to spend money on podcast sponsorships, like it takes a lot of convincing to explain to them, like, this is all about Instagram. Yeah. This is all about TikTok. This is all about our LinkedIn feed. Yeah. And that's just something to navigate. So what I'm thinking is like either have somebody in-house whose full-time job is to go out and like think like partnerships. Yeah. And build relationships with lots of brands who want to be working with quote unquote like tech creators, and the tech creators just happen to be podcasters. Well, that's us. Mm-hmm. And we're just like ripping deals all day, maybe even give them deals to multiple shows in our portfolio at wholesale rates. Yeah. And they become our like ad network. Mm. That to me like sounds the most realistic. Yeah. And then it's just it's a simple like, hey, we have a slate of creators, like any other agent would, like a slate of creators. Yeah. And this is our inventory right now, and we can constantly get really creative price and inventory. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Okay, because like...
And these are all tech founders, by the way, too. Like, we don't see that much in this space.
The startup world feels still a little bit slow. The conversation that I have most with big creators, and like I have them very often, and it's like usually the number one thing is, do the startups really have the money to support us at the highest end? So it's like, let's say it's the highest end. When they get on the calls, it's like, okay, is there the cash here to support our brand deal size? And usually their conclusion is, no, it's not there. What I know from being growth at startups, and that's my thing, is yes, the money's there. But it's one of those things where creator partnerships in startups to me always feels like, and I'm really curious your perspective, like something people talk about but don't really put their money into. And it's always like, put your money where your mouth is, right? If it's really true. It's like, it's something people say a lot, not always there. And I'm curious your take on that. What do you think about that?
Think of it this, here's one potential way to think of it. Like creators live in LA. Yes. And a bit in New York. They don't live in San Francisco. Yeah. Where are the startups? Not in LA.
Right, that's fair.
They're in San Francisco and New York. Yes, of course there are like people on TikTok, people on LinkedIn who put out content about startups and shit, but like really, really small population compared to creators in general. There's like lots of creators who don't know shit about startups. It's not about tech. Their shit's about like mom life or being a fitness influencer or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's the reality to it too, which is like tech isn't fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge hurdle we have to just call out. Like it's really fun to watch and cool to watch like a skier shredding down a crazy mountain in Alaska sponsored by Red Bull. Yeah. Like I like watching that. I don't like watching some guy coding on his couch.
That's fair.
It's not entertaining.
That's why TBPN cooked there, because it was like they were like one of the only ones who are.
There's like make it entertaining.
Yeah.
And like no one does. Like I see it. If you spend a lot of time on YouTube recently, like I've been like obsessed with YouTube recently more than any other platform, which is good because YouTube's like really investing a lot into their algorithm. Yeah. All of a sudden there's like all these sick documentaries, like short documentaries on YouTube about like inside a Silicon Valley VC or like inside a $100 million Silicon Valley startup. And they're well produced, but I'm watching it, I'm like, this is so fucking boring.
It's really boring,
because they're not doing anything cool. The video's great, no matter how much they script it or whatever they say, like it's just not cool. They're just like white dudes around a couch in an office. That's not cool. Yeah. How do we make it cool? I don't know how, if it's not.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I think part of it actually is like, I think I remember talking about this, like I've had a lot of conversations around it. And I knew that short form, this is like at the time where short form was coming to tech. And I was like, okay, short form is coming. UGC will become very big now. And then the question was like, okay, well, if everyone's moving to UGC, what's next? And you know, what's interesting about tech is it always runs slow behind creator economy. If you remember what creator economy did after short form, documentaries. Very interesting.
I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense too. Like, tech is engineers.
Yeah.
I remember I met a potential host like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and it was a very eye-opening conversation. Yeah. And he was like, he's assessing us, I'm assessing him. Might we make a show together? He's building I think he raised like 25 million bucks right out of the gates to build some cool shit. Yeah. And he was like, one of his questions was, how quickly can we record and then launch? I was like, at the time, I was like, it's a 2-week turnaround from recording to launch. That includes V1 edit, revisions from your guest, revisions from you, V2 edit, final approval, uploading. 2 weeks is fast. Yeah. Now it's 3 weeks, by the way. Yeah. And he was like, that's way too long. I was like, it's not possible any faster if you want to like make good content. Yeah. He's like, dude, last night, he's like, I wrote some code, shipped it on Reddit. I talked about it. And this morning had 8 new users. Like, we move fast.
Speed is very important, right?
And I was just like, you're right. Also, I'm right. Like, we're playing a different game. Yeah. Silicon Valley loves to move really fast and break things. Yeah. You can't move that fast when you're making content. You just can't. And the only way to do it is to think more like a news site. Yeah. TBPN always on, that's fast. They have no edits, no approvals, no revisions. They just record, post, in-house. Yeah. An external team, just like the economics don't make sense for that. So it's like engineer culture is API culture. Yeah. I give you a thing, I press a button, and it spits out 10 new things immediately. Yeah. Well, we can make it feel like that, but it's not immediate. Yeah. That's like how we play into API culture, but there's no actual API here. And like, I don't think there should be, because then it's just all vanilla. Like, you have to respect the creative process.
I completely agree, yeah.
And so I just think that's a really important like cultural reality to the type of people we're dealing with here.
I completely agree. And that's like, I've been having so many conversations with creators and I've been like, how do we get more, you know, like how does startup has the money, tech has the money, how do we like properly capitalize this? And I was like, the number one thing was like speed. And I do this a lot is like, cause you know, my clients are all founders and they're like, we're launching next week and we are ready to go and we need to go right now. And like, you know, I'll get on calls, great creators, great fit, everything's there. And they're like 6 months. And I'm like, oh, okay. No way. 6 months is like terrible. But honestly, like good creator times, if somebody said like 3 weeks, 3 weeks is borderline, like it may not be Silicon Valley fit. And I think that's why like catalogs help a lot too, which is like, if you know, you have a large surface area, then you have potential to sponsor at like any point. It's like, oh, you want it fast, here's a short form. You want it like, you want a depth thing, here's the long form. And like, that's a big one. And also like, what's really wild to me is, when I'm advising creators too, it's like the pattern that I see, because we just see a lot of this data, is like you would think that brand deals actually are like linear, right? Which is like as the audience goes up, and obviously like there's a score for it, which is like my audience is valued at X. Like maybe it's a tech, they make X money, right? And so you know it's more value there. But there's like As that audience increases, the brand deal size should go up. Really, and it tends to look something like an S. And so I mean by that is like, there's like a floor, which is like, if you have a podcast or you have some show that does decent views, like people watch it. It's not like, 2 people watched it and it's your mom and you, right? You have a floor. Then you have like the middle, which is like the wild, wild west. And that's like part of where like I play a lot of damage in, which is like, there's somebody who does like 1,000 views who will charge you like 10K. And there's also somebody who's the same amount of views who's and like they charge you like 1K. And then there's top 10 shows who would charge you like, you have no idea. And that's wild, wild west. And then you get to like the top of the S curve, which is like the ceiling. And it's like, Mr. Beast was talking about this a while ago, where he was like, he physically would pitch brands and they would be like, I'm sorry, like, just like you said, if it's not in our quarterly budget, like they physically says like, slide the paper across the table. Our budget is X. I'm sorry, but we actually just can't like do the reach. We agree about your numbers. We agree about everything. We can't do it. And so then you get the top side of it where it's like, a lot of times I chat with top creators and they're like, dude, they just don't have the money. And that's why I'm always like, at the top, I still think there's like incredible opportunities for startups. And even for you guys, like, I think you'd cook in that direction where I've always seen your business as like and like I told you this before, I was like, until every startup has a podcast, you're not done yet. We're not done.
Yeah. And also like every founder fails and goes start another startup at some point. So it's like, it's never going to be done.
It's never going to be done, right?
Yeah, because the cup will never be full.
Yeah. And also what's like, I don't know if you're ever going to play in this category, but like that's exciting to me too, is like, we've only seen podcasts and documentaries really get hit for tech. That's like, the entire TV is up for grabs right now, which is like every single thing that's been done in the past could be, popping. There's a lot of different shows, a lot of different things. And it's like lots of good,
I also just like, there is a reality. It's like physics. Like there are laws here that you have to respect a little bit. Maybe not as black and white as physics, but time.
Yeah.
Let's take working out as an example. Like if you want a 6-pack, you will not get it in 3 days.
Yeah. Fair point.
There's only one way to maybe expedite it, and that's steroids.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's the game you want to play, like in this world, that's ads. Like run ads, and then if you want like spikes, you want quick growth, run ads.
Yeah.
Don't do this, or do both.
Yeah.
But like, okay, you want to run a marathon and you want to like finish it.
Yeah.
Then like you can move pretty fast and you can do it in 6 months. But if you want to like run marathons every year for the next 15 years, it's going to take years to get there. And if you just like shut up and sit down and like do the work and don't quit and trust the process, then the law of compounding applies and it works. And for us, like one of the things I'm trying to figure out actually even this week is like, when I'm assessing new potential hosts to produce shows for, like, yeah, there was a time where we would just produce a show for anyone who would pay for it. Now it's like the opposite. It's like, someone asked me, big potential host, like one of the biggest in the world, doesn't have a show yet, massive name, massive guest. And he asked me the other day, within 30 seconds of meeting him 3 days ago, he's like, why do you want to produce a podcast for me? Because his team was like, you should meet this guy, Jake. He wants to produce a podcast for you. So I get on a call with him. He's like, why do you want to produce a podcast for me? And I was like, look, dude, I'll be honest with you. And I was kind of scared to say this. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I want to. I met you 30 seconds ago. And he was like, great answer. I was like, great. But I was like, it's true. Like, one of the things, there's not that many things, but one of the things I need to assess right early on is like, do you really want this? Do you really want to do this for years?
Yeah.
And if not, don't.
Yeah.
And like, don't waste my fucking time with it. Like, because there's 8 other people that do want to do it for years that are asking for me to produce a show for them. And like, I'm not going to spend the next 2 months building a show for someone that's going to die in 6 months. I'm going to do it for someone who's going to last for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's what I want. So the slow speed here is completely counterintuitive in everything we've ever learned in tech, which is move fast and break things.
Yeah.
I still think like move fast. I still think break things. What that means for us is like record a lot and like try a lot of shit and don't think too much about is it good or bad. Just post it. Like shipping fast is like posting fast. Just post shit. See what happens. And if you don't like it, then delete it. If it causes a problem, no one will remember it anyway. You're the only one who actually cares for a while. And then like do it for a long time and then your life will change. And I just don't want to be in the business of like trying to convince people of that reality.
That's a fair point, yeah.
And like when someone one of our things that we flag for in like an intro call is if someone's like, I'll actually flip it. When hosts come to me and they're like, you don't need to convince me on why I should do a podcast or like when I'm gonna see the numbers. I always ask like, how would you define success if you have a great show?
Yeah.
And if they're like, I want like this number of followers, this much ROI, this much pipeline acceleration in this much time. First, I'm like, is that realistic?
Yeah.
The second, I'm usually just like, you shouldn't do a podcast.
Yeah.
It's the ones who are like, I'm not looking at like the quick ROI, the quick numbers. I'm not thinking about like, I need this many followers from this by this date. I see this as like a long-term investment.
Yeah.
It's one of the many long-term investments I'm making. I want to do this. I think it's powerful. Yeah. I want to learn like all the more qualitative reasons.
Yeah.
If that's like the starting point, I'm like, that's great. And I'm the first to say, like, if your goal, your reasoning is like, we need quick turnaround, we need quick ROI.
Yeah.
Then it's not the right medium. Like, it's not about me versus a different podcaster. It's about like, don't do a podcast.
Yeah, and this is where I'm actually very interested. So I remember in the past you said the idea that you knew you weren't going to make, like for Thursday Labs, the best podcast in the world, but you're going to make the best guest experience podcast in the world. So
slightly different, but yeah. We'll never, and I agree, we'll never make the world's best shows, but I will be the best to work with. That's what we say.
What's interesting to me about that is building a podcast, building a show, whatever it is, it's kind of like, it's pretty much analogous to building a company, right? It's hard, it takes time, it's not something where it's like, I'm gonna be a great founder and also do the end-to-end of this podcast. It's not easy. It's very one of one to do like both and be the best in the world at them. To do them at a decent level fair. What's interesting for you guys is like, if you do that and you essentially have you have this engine to like, you've got the money, you got the host who's got, everything, you got the guests and you like put them all together. What does that look like at the end? Are you gonna bat for like, I can make the best shows in the world in terms of like, this could be top 10 metrics wise, or is like, what is best? Like, what are you looking at?
I don't care for like subjective qualitative things.
Yeah.
That like even that sounds frothy. Like, let's make it legitimate. If the question is like, how will you make the best podcast in the world? The first place my brain goes like, well, who am I competing against?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe Rogan.
Right.
Chris Williamson.
You're doing it since like
Stephen Bartlett. And how long did it take them all to get there? So it's like, the next point is their time horizon. It took them 10 years. Okay, what were they doing before that? Well, Joe Rogan had a very decorated career prior. Stephen Bartlett, Chris Williamson, not as decorated, but like, either way, okay, 10 years.
Yeah.
Do I want to like play a game that has a 0.0001% chance of winning in 10 years? Like, no, not really. When I could do the same thing and play a game that I can like absolutely dominate in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna choose that, because if you dominate it for 6 months and then go dominate the next thing for the next 6 months and you do that for 10 years, then you win. Then you actually did the best. But like, I don't want to wait to find out for 10 years. I want the like, every 6 months we've made significant milestones, compounded over 10 years. We end up getting to the same place and like also enjoyed it more.
Okay.
So for us, I think of it as like a huge weird KPI is like, how many guests this week across our like we usually have about 24 shows happening live at the time.
Yeah.
Meaning of our 70, around 20 to 30 live still, which is actually a really high metric because 99% of podcasts die. For us, it's like 50% die.
That makes a lot of sense.
So at any given time, we have 25 shows a week. How many of the guests that week told either us or the host, our client, that was the best podcast I've ever been on?
Yeah.
If I hear that, successful week.
Yeah.
And we very often do. And like, that's my North Star. It's like, I want guests saying that's the best podcast I've ever been on. Because then they introduce us to the next guest who's even bigger. They share our content online. Like, then all the next things happen, which ultimately grow the show.
Yeah.
And I just see that as the formula.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's a page out of Brian Chesky's book.
Yeah.
And I don't actually know if he wrote a book. I don't read books. I listen to podcasts. But
Maybe a blog?
He was on Masters of Scale. I think it was episode 1. If anyone listening hasn't listened to Masters of Scale with Reid Hoffman, Brian Chesky's episode, like our Bible. Like I have everyone on my team listen to that like once a year. I listen to it once a year around the holidays. Bible. And it's about that. It's just like, do the tiny things that are not scalable so fucking well. A 12-star experience. Everyone else is like 5-star experience. 5-star experience the best. I'm like, fuck that. 12-star experience. Not even 10, 12. And like for years. And I think that's where generational success actually lives. When the rest of us are out there like, this is going to basically ship and flip in 5 years. I'm like, cool, great. I'm going to be doing this. You're doing fucking 500-yard sprints. That's awesome. And then you're going to blow your Achilles. I'll still be running in 20 years though.
That makes a lot of sense. That's interesting.
Like let them die. Like I'm just like, let them come and die. I see competitors all the time come up. Like everyone's now like launching a podcast studio and I'm like, good.
Yeah.
I know you're going to die in 3 years.
It's better for your business, right?
Like,
it's like they'll bomb over there and then come over to you, right?
Because I'm like, you didn't like get here how we got here. And like, I just believe that. I'm like confident about that. Maybe arrogant about that, but like, I just believe that.
I love, one of my favorite like quotes is the Paul Graham doing the unscalable. I love that a lot. It's just
love
like,
it.
It's just my favorite things. I'm going to play devil's advocate though. I do want to climb this one more time.
Yeah.
What if, so Daniel Ek, when he first started, like he was like, you know, Spotify had a podcast for him where it was like, there was nothing aspirational about being a podcaster, right? This was like back in like 2020, 2021. It was like, he knew podcast was like, this is Spotify's thing, but there was nothing aspirational about it. So he was like, you know, who do kids want to be when they want to grow up? Everyone wants to be in the NBA. Everyone wants to be like an astronaut. But like, well, let's just take the NBA, for example. What does NBA pay their guys? Like, if you make it to the NBA,
a lot of money.
Right, you're cooked. Like you're cooking. Now, what he did was he put out a bunch of celebrity podcasts out there, and most of them bombed. But it really like his quote, and I love this, is he said the podcast space needed energy, and he just wanted to put energy into it. And so most people looked at it and they're like, this was a bust. But for him, he was like, dude, I just ignited this whole like industry, and like look how many podcasts came. So I'm curious for yourself, like just to play devil's advocate, do you think Thursday Labs suffers like, or could suffer in the future from not having a show that's like, this is our show and it kills on like the biggest stages everywhere in the world? Or is that not something at all?
It's a great question. I mean, look, our lane has been like, we make a lot of niche technical B2B shows.
Yeah.
So like for the founder who has a TAM of 1,000 people or less and wants to like totally dominate their space and own their space, I just like love, I just fully subscribe to like there's riches and niches. Make like technical shit for a few people and do it really, really well and own a space. And like that's where the majority of our portfolio is. Yeah. But it's also hard in different ways. Yeah. We do have more shows now than we used to that are like, we need to make this big. Like one of our top shows called Don't Be a Jerk. It's with Healy Cipher, who's former partner at Atomic. Yeah. Now he's building Boom Pop, which is one of Atomic's portfolio companies. And his show's about like leadership and like being a good person. It's really important to him, but it's not niche. It's a leadership show. There's like a zillion great leadership shows, but it takes a unique angle. I do, of course, want big, huge shows as well that are like blockbuster type productions. Yeah. What comes to mind for me, and maybe it's like a little adjacent to your answer, and it's something we are also investing in like now, is set design. Yeah. A couple of years ago, podcasts were on Riverside. Yeah. All of them, for the most part. And like the only in-person ones were Joe Rogan. You ever seen Joe Rogan's set? It's like a wooden table with a curtain behind him. Looks like shit. But it worked then. Yeah. Now all the top shows are Rick Rubin's show. It's like filmed in this like beautiful yard. Yeah. Stephen Bartlett, gorgeous room. Chris Williamson did the fucking the Interstellar set. Yeah. Like set design is where a lot are investing right now. About a year and a half ago, we shifted our philosophy I mean, when we started, everything was virtual because it was coming out of COVID. All our shows were on Riverside. We built like nice sets in people's homes. I'd ship them fucking camera equipment for $2,000.
Yeah.
$1,500 and like build them a set. And then we were like, oh shit, we need to move in person. So we completely shifted our model to now how do we record in person when our clients are like all over the country and I'm in wherever I am. That was hard, but we figured that one out.
Yeah.
And we started now using all these in-person studios like Theorist in New York or Gotham in New York or Operation Podcast in LA. And I love these spaces.
Yeah.
SF Podcast Studio in SF, like I'm giving them all shout outs because they're great.
Yeah.
I'll just be real though, now everyone shoots there.
Yeah.
They all look the same. So like I've had my host come to me and be like, Jake, I love Theorist, but I've seen 7 other shows on my feed this week that you haven't produced that were also filmed at Theorist. How can we be different?
Yeah.
And the just standing out from the crowd. I know it sounds very like not a big deal, but like obviously stand out, but like so important now. It's like we all hear like stop the scroll. How do you make something that like gets someone to stop their scroll? Like
Yeah.
the last couple of years, you would stop the scroll by just doing it in person and having like a slightly better camera lens than the last guy. Well, now it's like, I see the same fucking shot all the time. It needs to be different. So now the Chris Williamson, Interstellar, I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's different. So now what we're trying to figure out is we have shows with hosts all over the country. Typically, yeah, congested in New York, LA, SF, that makes things easier.
Yeah.
We use these rental studios that are our like network studios. I built my own studio in LA 8 months ago and already I'm like, we're not using it anymore.
Yeah.
How do we now have a system or an approach where we can pop up in any space and make it look fucking sick? This is a good example. Like we're in a bouldering gym recording a pod. That's very different.
Exactly.
But like in a year, we're gonna see 12 other of these because you charted the course. Great.
Yeah.
What are you on to next?
Exactly.
Like, are you gonna go do this in the woods next at like a real outside wall? Cool. The next thing is just like, now you're gonna need 2 videographers and like 2 of these cameras and like some lights. And the costs are different and the time is different and like the economy of it's different. I just think we always need to stay a step ahead in that. And that's a big investment for the rest of the year for us is I'm gonna sacrifice my personal Christmas bonus or the like house I wanna buy this year. Sacrifice. I'm gonna instead invest that into now like this next chapter, which is how do we build out better fucking visual sets for our shows in wherever, whenever. And that might mean different things. And I'm not exactly sure what it looks like. I've got some ideas. And I think that is one more important step to the marquee, big show.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And that's actually where, like me playing devil's advocate was just me, like that's actually where like my intuition goes for you, which is like, I feel like you also have an, like in a weird way, like an energy problem in which like the podcast, there's only so much you could do on a podcast, which is just so hard. It's really difficult, which is like set design is one thing. It was like, okay, let's say like you've changed all of the sets, but like to your point, it's like, well, someone's gonna get you there, someone will get you here, and it's like, how much time you got. That's why I always like, there are so many different shows out there in TV that have been done before that are like no one's brought yet. And so I'm always like, I feel like for you guys, and like that's obviously where my brain's at too, and so I'm a little biased here, but it's like, how can we like pull some of this stuff in? There's so many more variables, there's so much more to change. One thing I heard yesterday, I was like, I got a chance to listen to the TBPN team and they were talking, that's like the barbell effect, which is like everything's either gonna be like, this is timeless and this is will like live forever, or this is like fast and it will go very quickly. And it's like, playing in that middle is like very difficult, and playing both sides is very difficult, but it's like, yeah, it's intriguing to me. I mean, I think, I do want to climb this one though. I know we're running short on time. This is interesting. You want to rep this one?
I'm having fun.
It's my least favorite one. Oh, this is really good though.
Bro, you can't step on that color.
You can step on that. Oh, sorry, did you never step on that?
No, you got to keep it to yellow.
No.
That's the point.
No.
That's what I
Volumes are
was
free.
taught.
Oh, that's my bad. Well, I never told you that, but volumes are free game. Dude, some of these are so angled, I don't want to hit my knee on the wall. Oh, it's the top of the wall. All right, well, this is the top. You got this. You got this one. You can rip this one.
Well done. I don't know, how the fuck? Even these are the hardest to me, these like weird.
There you go. Oh, try left foot on there.
Yeah.
Right foot out there. Get like really close to the wall. Like, there you go. Nice. Yeah, it's really good from here. Yeah, go left. Go left and go for the one on the volume. Oh, look at you go. Oh, there you go. Way to skip.
Ah, fuck.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I ripped this
Interesting.
white one again.
I don't know if their ratings are accurate. Some of these are tough.
That's a big debate, yeah.
Yeah. We had
Oh, this one.
one of our early shows called Founders and Empanadas.
Yeah.
I was like, look, this guy, he really wants to talk about founder mental health on camera.
Yeah.
There's so many shows doing that. Like, we're working with, what are the variables we have at play? And he wants to do it virtually.
Yeah.
Like, so we have his desk, his webcam, the guest's desk, and their webcam. That's what we have to work with.
Yeah.
What can we do that's just like a little bit different? Like, founder mental health, but then just like, cut it with a non sequitur that no one's expecting.
Yeah.
That would just be different. Like, let's see what happens. And our play, and he like loves empanadas, and it makes a lot of sense with the theme of his company. Like, what if we sent empanadas to the guest before on Uber Eats, before every recording, and together they eat empanadas on camera and talk about hard shit. And it's like meant to bring down the pressure, and like how cool is it to see like Tyler Dank, this like, this is real, this like larger than life founder we all love on LinkedIn and Twitter, talking about his mental health while eating an empanada and like spilling fucking beef on his shirt. Like, that's cool. It's different.
It's different.
And that was 2 years ago. Next one was like, okay, in-person show. He wants to talk about like founder stories. Everyone wants to talk about founder stories, of course. Filming in New York. These are our variables. Filming in New York, in person. Every other week he wants to record. We have these 3 cameras, this room, a table, and chairs. What's different? Like, what can we do there? Because it's not like, oh, let's go like to a water park and record it, or let's like do subway takes. It's like, what we have is the studio. Like, that's where our costs, that's what your budget is gonna get you. And our play was like, play games on the table. Like, we play Jenga and make puzzles and Operation, and that's like while they're talking, different. And or like do it in like a commissary kitchen and like make spaghetti while you're fucking on a pod. That's just like,
It's very different.
it's just different. But then eventually it's not. And like, that's what makes this game, I think, actually really exciting. It's forcing us to always just be clever and be creative. That's what's fun. Like,
I think so, yeah.
I don't want, of course, sure, it's another like how I built this type story while you're in a sports car. A great early example we all loved was comedians in cars getting coffee. Like, we've all heard Jerry Seinfeld talk to other celebrities before. Like, that's not new. But like in a cool sports car, that's just like, just visually different. And I've been, I think humbled is probably the right word. Like, humbled by the reality that we will never be done with that creative challenge, which is like, it is my job to always be thinking what's something new that we haven't done yet. And the more you do things, seemingly the harder it is to think of new things, but it's actually like, it opens up new doors and new pathways.
I love that, because I always tell my team, like, I'm always repeating like different. I'll take different over better any day, which is like, I'm just trying to see what can we do that's just a little different, because it's like to me, what was it? We had Mid-Journey come out. Everyone's like, design is dead. Psh, done. Okay, well, nothing really changed. Claude Design came out. Design is dead again. Not much is going to change.
Everyone
again.
wants to claim this is going to die.
It's like everyone's. It's like the LinkedIn statement, which is like this: something is dead. It's the template. It's the hook. But I don't know. At the end of the day, it's just like that really, really like thing. Like, I feel like that's just an art too. It's like, if you could show something that's different, you could show something that's just like very, very intricate. It will any day. Like any day. You ready? What do you want? Yellow, white?
Me? You?
I'm gonna go white.
Go white, dude. I want to see
white.
you nail that. Just fully fucking commit to that hold up there.
But try and get up really high this time.
Try this. When your hand touches it, don't let go of it.
I like that. I wasn't thinking of that.
Yes, yes, yes. There it is.
Woo.
See, you did it. You took my advice.
I like it. What the hell is... Oh, is it the finish?
I think that, you can count that.
Is it the finish?
Dude.
I didn't see anything above.
That was awesome.
You want to try it?
I don't know, what V is this? It's not rated.
It's a V5.
V5? I'll try again.
It's a tall though. You're pretty tall, man. Think from your feet. Like I was really thinking just like get up off the ground. I wasn't even thinking about grabbing that hand. I was just thinking just get up off. There you go. Big ride, big ride, big ride. Oh, I love that. That was a good one. I like that. That's a clever idea.
Oh, I just missed the right there? I didn't even go for it?
I wonder. Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think you could cheat this one.
A little crimp?
Yeah, I think you could. But I was gonna say you went with the left. I went with the right.
Oh, you went
I went over. But I think left. Ooh. Oh yeah, I don't even know how you went left. It's very impressive. I don't think I can go left. I have to go over. All right. Oh, we're about to hit the end of our clock. So, what do you think? One more question, one more climb.
One more question.
Okay. So, a year from now, you've fully accomplished what you want with sponsorships. And more importantly, Thursday Labs is where you want it to be. What do you think it looks like from right now?
I want $1 million in 12 months from now. Just in $1 million in new revenue from brand partners. I'm using that word for now instead of sponsors. Not sure if that's going to stick. Yeah, I want $1 million in new revenue from just brand partnerships. How we split that with our hosts is going to be case by case basis and TBD. Like the standard is we go out and get the deals.
Yeah.
We built the show. We keep 70% of the sponsorship revenue, give 30% back to the host.
Yeah.
If they go do the deal, like you're our host and you want to go like bring in a sponsor and really all we're doing is just like sending them the doc and putting their logo on, then you keep the 70. I have a feeling some of our shows will land in like the 50-50 range.
Yeah.
But that's where we start the negotiation. Yeah, if like, look, let's say we bank 500 to 700K from that.
Yeah.
I would say that would be a wildly successful year one
Yeah, that'd be
of
insane.
brand partners.
It feels like the next step for you guys because it feels perfect. Because I'm like, I always see you guys go to market, which is like every single time. How could you either A, land more investors, or B, land more customers? One of those two. If that number goes up, like physically, you cannot be eliminated, right? To the company. And I'm like, well, essentially, it's like the same thing, which is like you're either going to have the founder host, like the startup has the cash and the founder host. Okay, that's fair. But that same startup may not have a host ready. It's like, okay, you just go over there. Like, I mean, everyone's either going to have to build or buy, so you might as well be on both, right?
Yep.
I love it. Want me to call it right there? Nice session, man.
Really fun.